Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Tailgate Talk here at sunjournal.com. Kalle Oaks, Randy Whitehouse. Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are backwards here. Justin Pelletier here coming at you for sunjournal.com. Class C, week 5. Already into week 5 for Class C. Jay at Madison, our first matchup here.
I'll be there.
Will you really?
I will.
Jay at Madison.
Yep, that's what I've been told.
Yeehaw.
It's not a big Friday night this Friday night.
No, I guess not, but Jay at Madison, is it going to be a game for you at least?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. You got an alumnus coaching, Jay alumnus coaching Madison, and Matt Friedman. Madison has a win this year. They beat a pretty big and physical Freeport team, but their other games have certainly been one-sided. Jay, we're seeing the same things out of Jay we've seen the past couple of years. They got to beat another playoff caliber team to kind of establish themselves before the end of the year. Madison's not necessarily one of those, but it's certainly a chance to get a win and keep putting away some points and win 4 or 5 games and end that playoff drought. The Tigers certainly have proven they can compete with most of the teams in the league. It's just a matter of doing it.
They could have had another win, perhaps, if they had a kicker.
Ooh.
Yeah, that might be what I'm writing about this week, is the lack of kickers
Pillage of soccer teams.
Certainly don't want to, Livermore tried that last year. Certainly don't want to fault Coach Bonavie for going for 2. I think it was the only decision to be made at that point. And you have all the momentum, and it's the last 2 minutes of the game, and you just scored, and you've been driving the length of the field, and why not?
Do it because he didn't have a kicker.
They've got a kicker. I've seen them use a kicker.
Miranda Cook at Winthrop. Randy, Winthrop just absolutely on a roll right now.
Yeah, and doesn't appear to be much in their way, at least until Lisbon in week 8, perhaps.
Hey, don't you know Joel Stoneton picked Miranda Cook to win Lisbon C along with Oak Hill?
Well, and Miranda Cook's playing a little bit better football right now, but I don't see the Ramblers tripping over this obstacle very.
Speaking of those Lisbon Greyhounds, they get Yarmouth this week. That's the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And last year it was, 48-20, something of that nature at Yarmouth. That's sort of the win that was the Yarmouth establishing themselves as a team to watch in Class C finally after only winning 1 total game in the first 3 years. They went all the way to the regional final, and they kind of haven't turned back since. I believe they've got 10 straight regular season wins.
Yeah, they're averaging 47 points a game. They haven't really played anybody within 10 miles of Lisbon besides Oak Hill, literally or figuratively. But it's certainly, I guess they're still a fast team. The quarterback, whose name I can't pronounce, Arjo or Arjo or whatever his name is, I don't even know. Sekarikia, exactly. He's kind of the centerpiece of their offense. He can run and throw. Lisbon gave up their first points of the year last week against Freeport. Probably a good thing that they kind of got that out of the way, because I don't think they were going to shut out Yarmouth anyway. But certainly their defense is going to face a bigger challenge this week against Yarmouth's offense.
Livermore Falls makes the long trip down to Kittery this week to battle the Trape Rangers.
Tell you what,
they're going to be a much happier ride home, I think, this week.
I don't want anybody to fall asleep on Trape, that's for sure. They're 3-1. That's their best start in 18 years.
I was going to say it's been a while.
Not saying a lot, but they beat Miranda Cook, who I think most people considered a better team than they were at the start of the year. I think most people consider Livermore a better team than Trape, but that's a long bus ride, and I've seen some funny things happen. I've covered some games down there in my time, let's say.
Oof. And our last matchup this week, Randy, let's start with you. Dirigo at Oak Hill. The Raiders get a chance to get things going here at home, and Dirigo is a fairly even matchup this week.
Yeah, fairly even. I think, kind of contrasting teams here. Dirigo, basically their offense revolves around Spencer Ross. It's Spencer Ross. Oak Hill's had a 3-headed backfield, basically, although certainly Josh Allen's been the focal point. He's had 2 monster games back-to-back weeks here, something like 8 touchdowns, I think, in the last 2 games, about over 400 yards. Their running game has been rounding into a dominant form. No doubt that's going to be the key for Dirigo, is to keep him in line, but they have other guys to consider as well, Dupuis, Wells, and the key is to get Oak Hill in 3rd and long situations. That's really how they're going to get their defense off the field.
I mean, Oak Hill strikes me as maybe this year's version of what Yarmouth was last year. It took them a couple of games to get some momentum going, and now they just seem pretty unstoppable. Allen with, I think, 9 touchdowns the last 2 games, and he's not the only threat they have in that backfield. Dirigo, young on defense. You got to stop him somehow.
Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Randy. Justin Pelletier, Randy Whitehouse, Kalle Oaks, sunjournal.com/SJVarsity.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful week.